this trial was a wake up for some, as many of us already was aware.
A wake up call, how? Yeah. Quite frankly, people who proclaim that they're woke just need to fall back to sleep. It's, woke. Yeah, they just need to fall back. Excuse me. They need to fall back to sleep because they have pretty much given up. And I'm talking about for those who believe that Carmelo Anthony should get his just due for a white boy who did unjustly to him. But what they're trying to do is that they're trying to erase completely off of the map racism. That's what these Negroes are trying to do. Off of what white people are suggesting, they are suggesting that we live in if we want to live in a better world, this if we're going to live in a better world and a better society, this is what it is. Let's just take racism off the table. And you Negroes, with a snap of a finger, said, okay, sure, fine. How's that working out for you so far?
Of the courtrooms in America. Yes, a wake up call. And I tell you something else. It also exposed the trauma and the pain in the African American community. We all knew it was there, but
no, it didn't. Black folks, well, I don't know what these sample soldiers don't have any heartfelt sympathy for Carmelo Anthony. As a matter of fact, these people are glad that Carmelo Anthony is in prison. These people are celebrating with white people that Carmelo Anthony is in prison. Justice is justice is completely blind, and we all know this to be true. Thank you for the star, sis. Thank you for the star. Thank you. We all know this to be true. We all know this to be factual. That justice tangled up in red tape bought off by the gray. Thank you for another star, sweetheart. The stabbing of Austin Metcalf, in my opinion, yet not popular, justified. Don't put your hands on somebody. I think we have dealt with enough. And black folks in this country are willing. Now, mind you, there are those individuals who proclaim they black, but really they're not. So why does it look like you have a female? Well, my bad, bro. My bad. Um, why didn't you tell me you was a female in the first place? Oh, but thank you for the star anyway. So, with that being said, there are those individuals who think that they're for the black community when do foretell they are not. And there's a special place in Hades for those individuals. I think in this at this stage, let me put that up there. At this stage, I think black folks have given up. Black folks are very prideful and living in a society where they think is justly to them, to them only. Justly meaning that things are fine, things are okay. We have still have an opportunity in this country. It's under this administration, which is farther from the truth. Um, they believe in that this society has uh, failed them in absolutely seeing their truths, not the truth, for what Carmelo Anthony has done. And that though these individuals, like for example, Willie D, shouts out to Willie D. Willie D does an excellent job defending his community. Um, I want to thank Sis, Queen Sheba, for going to the court and revealing the truth for what it was. Unfortunately, the defense didn't do its job. We all know this. Um, Uda Block, Taz, Freezy. Shouts out to Young Freezy. Shouts out to everyone who has stepped up and um, really looked at this case with a looked at the video with a fine tooth comb. I can care less about the law at this point. I can give a fuck less about the law. And let me tell you why. I'm going to pull up yet again. And I can care less about what year it was. Thank you for the star, my man. A boy named George Stingley. 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 George Stingley Jr. Yeah, I go back to this for a reason. I go back to this because this is an African American child, right? For those who don't see it, let me put it up on the screen for you. And I gotta get another. That's fucking up. Hold up. I'll tell you the reason why in a minute, Barb. I'll tell you the reason why in a minute. Here's the thing. I want to put it on screen for you because these Negroes again need their own island. I don't believe for the life of me why you would defend these white racists. I don't know why, but it's gotta stop. It's gotta fucking stop. Do we have plans for these niggas? I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, this boy here suffered was wrongly accused at the age of 14. At the age of 14 years old, and was being convicted during an unfair trial for the murder of two white girls that he had nothing to do with. But yet, he was tried, convicted, and electrocuted. A 14-year-old kid. Years later, and I'll show you because I'm streaming on two streams. this boy here didn't deserve to die by electrocution. In those days, you were either hung, shot by a firing squad, or in this case, electrocuted. 14 years old, and you saying that we live in a society who cares when we actually don't. I mean, you sounding like Megan Kelly's out there. The ones that like to say that if you don't like to live in America, get the hell out. Well, your people brought us here. Your people brought us here, and it's like the next step is, just give us our reparations, right? But then again, you'll give everybody else reparations except for African Americans. Interesting. We get we get nothing. According to white folks, we get absolutely nothing. And this is where situations can come to a head. Do I claim that this is a victory with the Carmelo situation? No, it isn't. I'm not claiming anything. The boy was minding his own business, minding his own affair. He got fucked with. He did what he had to do, allegedly. We don't know because the boy didn't even testify. We need to know what was on his mind that day. And we also needed to know what was on Hunter's mind that day. But nevertheless, let's get off of here because I hear white folks screaming at the and white folks shouldn't get all upset. You won. Go and play with your prison buddies. You absolutely freaking won. I wish you European motherfuckers would pack up and go back to fucking Europe with your dying country. Didn't you just come from disease and famine? And were cannibalizing yourselves in Europe? And finally took in that boat and went straight to the Americas. Come to find out there were people already there who didn't look like you, by the way. So, of course, no one cares for a black kid. No one cares for a black kid. No one cares for a black child. No one cares for a black girl who literally someone hung on a tree. No one gives a shit. +400 years of captivity, and a little AI is going to change the minds of some people. Oh, we got it good here. I doubt that. Donald Trump gets elected by a group of dumbass niggas who clearly voted for him in the first place because they thought they were going to have change. How's that looking out for you? That's the he was like, there are no more lynchings in them. No more lynchings in America. You couldn't convince me that there wasn't.
This trial showed just how deep the trauma is for the African American community. We don't trust this system, and for good reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk about all of that from a different perspective here in just a moment. We might as well get into it. Now, someone asked a really interesting question. I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to answer that question before we get into tonight's lesson. All right, let's go to another screen, and we're going to take a sidebar. All right, so we got a question that I think should be answered. It's a really important question. And let's get into the question. I'm going to put it in full on the screen, and then I'll answer that question. Very important question.
Thanks for the 100. Dude, come on, you're
all right, here's the question.
Killing me with this shit.
What the police supposed to read Carmelo his Miranda rights when he started saying, I did this, when he started speaking about what he did or what happened? Was they supposed to advise him of his right then? You have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be used against you. Have the right to attorney.
Come on.
Was his Miranda rights violated or not?
Let
me read it again. And this time I'm going to make some corrections to it. Were the police supposed to read Carmelo his Miranda rights? We should better say Miranda warnings. When he started saying, I did this, when he started speaking about what he did or what happened. I don't know exactly what he said. This is what this person says he said, but I'm not, that's not the issue. The issue is, were the police required to read his Miranda warnings? What were they supposed to advise him of his right then? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you.
In the court of law.
You
have a right to an attorney. If you do not have an attorney, one would be provided for you.
Have the right to attorney. Was his Miranda rights violated or not? Well, let me I'm not commenting on what happened with Carmelo. I just want to use this question to share with you something really important. Really important. Now, to answer his question, to answer this gentleman's question. So, two things must occur in order for the police to be required.
Hold on, let me give you a wrench. Simply because there might be some FBAs up in here. There might be some FBAs, so you got a shot, but let's be clear. No funny business. Or that ranch gonna get took. All right. I'm protecting you from the cult that is FBAs.
To Mirandize someone, to read someone Miranda warnings. Two things must be present. Number one, the person must be in custody.
As a matter of fact, have your wife come comb my balls while you're at it.
Or detained. So number one, the person must be in custody or detained. Number two, the person must be getting interrogated or being asked questions. We call it a custodial interrogation. A custodial interrogation. So the person, again, must be in custody, and the police must be asking them questions. At that moment, yes, law enforcement is required to Mirandize the person. All right? Pursuant to the Fifth Amendment.
Once again,
you have the right.
I give a shout out to my people from Britain. I get a lot of people who come over from there. I am grateful. I am definitely humbly grateful.
To remain silent.
But I also want to give a shout out to my Hades people. I want to give a shout out to my Hades people, brothers and sisters over there in Haiti. Thank you for the 100 once again. Thank you. Yeah, this there ain't no justice here in America. So, I mean, I'm willing to listen to all this shit, but I'm convinced that there ain't no justice. If there was, it's not like anywhere else. And I understand it's a third world country anywhere in the world, but you got it good here in America. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit.
Anything you say can and will be used against you. And you have the right to an attorney. And if you can't afford one, one will be appointed to you. So yes, the person must be warned if they're in custody, detained or arrested, okay? And they're being asked questions. That's the general rule. There are exceptions. One of which is, and here's where people make here's where people make a big mistake. And that is, if you voluntarily talk to the police, they don't have to Mirandize you. If you just start talking to the police, they don't have to Mirandize you.
Okay.
Let me say it again. If you just start talking to the police, they don't have to Mirandize you.
So you're gonna make them give up their own. Okay, all right, cool. But we're supposed to know the law. That's automatic. We're supposed to just know the law like that, right? Just keep our mouth shut until we appear before a judge and the jurors. An all-white juror. Nice.
So if the police walks up to you and you just start talking, or if they start talking to you and you start talking back, then they can just keep that conversation going, and they don't have to Mirandize you because you're voluntarily talking. Okay? That is really important. That is extremely important, and it's where a lot of folks oftentimes find themselves in situations.
I bet you they have it bad in the UK. I bet you they do. I haven't been over there, but spiritually, I concede for you, sir. I concede to you that black people just don't. It's just terrible everywhere. Even in Africa, it's terrible.
So, just to make sure you understand, I want you to write what are the two conditions that must be in place before they have to Mirandize you. Let me tell you what they are, and then to make sure you understand, write it in the chat. First, you gotta be in custody. Second, they must be interrogating you.
Okay, we know about
what has said is and here's what happened. So a group, let me see, I wrote some of this up. Let me not jump ahead. In fact, here's some of the facts.
Carter versus
so it's Carter v. United States, number 23 CF 0388. Was handed down August 28th, 2025. Actually, it was handed down. My mistake. It was handed down. My typo. No. It was handed down August 28th, 2025. That's right. And then it was then they filed a writ of certiorari in order for the United States Supreme Court to hear the case. So yes, it was actually filed about a year ago, 2025, and then the state, all right, the government actually, since the government represents prosecution in DC, so the government filed a writ of certiorari. That's where they asked the Supreme Court to look at the case, to review the case, because they didn't like what the DC Court of Appeals did. All right, the government didn't. And so police approached 10 black men on a sidewalk with no suspicion of any crime. An officer asked Carter, the defendant, to hike up his pants. Now, before he hiked his pants up, this gentleman, this defendant, raised up his shirt. This special gun unit, they were trying to determine if those 10 black men had any illegal weapons, any guns. And so these guys, to try to show them they didn't have any guns, they raised up their shirt like this gentleman Carter did so before he was even asked. All right. So the court held that he was seized under the Fourth Amendment at that moment. So when the officer asked Mr. Carter,
thank you for the 100. Thank you for the 100, my brother. Thank you.
To hike up his pants, the DC Court of Appeals said that he was seized, in custody, detained at that moment. So that's why I was trying to stress earlier that being in custody doesn't necessarily mean that you're in handcuffs or that you're in jail. No, it can mean like...
Man, this shit is so fucking tiresome. It's ridiculous. You know, all these, some of these cases should have been abolished. The Dred Scott case should have been abolished. Roe v. versus, I still have issues with that. I'm going to have to read it again verbatim. But the most important thing to me was the Dred Scott decision. That literally a black man has no right that a white man doesn't have to respect. But yet we still got people who don't give a shit, don't care about nothing in the world about black life.
This case, if the police ask you, based on the totality of circumstances, to do something like hike up your pants, then you are very likely in custody. And then if
let me tell you something, how Caucasian nation deals with what's going on right now. As long as they're in position, as long as somebody can give them a platform because they feel like they were discriminated against by the Democratic Party and all this other shit, it's crazy. When number one, both sides have issues, real big issues, but somehow it's the Democrats' fault. We just mostly blame Democrats for every goddamn thing, right? And then yet Trump comes in there and just tears everything apart, just tears everything apart and just wants to build it back up for his constituents, his glory. Why do you think they took the name? His name is practically everywhere, including a damn statue. And we sit here we are sitting here being comfortable as shit. But wait a minute. Even white folks are getting tired of this nut. White folks are getting tired to the point where it's that they regret even voting for this nutso in the first place, because I told you before, I don't know if you were there, but I didn't have this much audience or whatever, but I said this verbatim. I said, if you elect him, he's going on a revenge tour and no one's going to stop him. But I didn't think that the Supreme Court was going to give him immunity. I didn't think that to be so, but they did. So he's not unstoppable, but there's little that we can do except vote. And who we vote for, it clearly all depends on where they stand. Because I'm not just picking any or anybody. Oh no. I would pick Kamala Harris. I would pick Kamala Harris straight up before I pick anybody else. And to be perfectly honest, I wish Jasmine Crockett would run. I just wish for the life of me, I just wish she would just run. I did for the I could you know what? When it comes to the Obamas, well, let me not say Obamas. Obama himself. Let me give you a little thing about Obama. He thinks he's slick. Well, he thought he was slick. I was blinded when I was in my 20s when I first voted for him. I was in my late 20s. This Negro did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing for the black community. Nothing. Nada. Zit. Zilch. There were two young men before he became president. He was still a senator, and they were going to ask him the hard questions. But apparently, he does not know how to answer hard questions. But it didn't take too much time for a white man to stand up and start waving his American flag like this. It didn't take too much time then. But you can't ask hard questions for two young men at that particular time when he was running for president. He was still a senator, a state senator. Stop it. I have my issues with Obama, but I'm not gonna sit idly by and let some white bread, orange plug hair hat hooligan, long face beard, no redneck having ass president, because he's no president to me. I am not gonna sit idly by and let some person, I really want to say what I really want to say, go in and attack Obama and attack his wife. You leave that up to me. I have the right to do it because number one, I'm black, and number two, I voted for him twice. Everything that happens with Trump, he blames Obama. Everything that happens to Trump, he gets a little doo-doo on his finger. That damn Obama, them toiletries were too skinny. He gets into a car accident. Damn that Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Now, of course, Obama clapped back and he said, but without mentioning any names, he clapped back at him and he said, basically, he knows not to come after me face to face. He can do all that shit online all he wants. He can go to his true social and he can yada, 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 yada. But when it comes to a face-to-face meet, you are soft as cottonelle tissue. And even Jesse the Body Ventura ex-governor for Minnesota even stated that he wouldn't hurt a fly. He would rather pay people to do his battles for him. So I don't know why he would come. He's brave. He is brave to come after people, but he ain't brave enough to come after Obama. I will give Obama this. He looks fit. He looks fit. He looks old. He probably wail on him a couple of times, and Trump will be like, I give up. I give up. I give up. If you think, okay, I should have put a poll up. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Donald Trump can whoop Obama's ass. If you think Donald Trump can whoop Obama's ass, put a 1 in the chat. If you think Obama could whoop his ass, put a 2 in the chat. This should be no, we're just going to ignore you. Oh my God. So you think that Donald Trump can whoop Obama's ass in a one-on-one confrontation, a one-on-one battle? You really think that the boy can't even stay awake? Man, I'm not in his prime. In his prime. He was too. First of all, do you know who Donald Trump was? Donald Trump was a Boy Scout. He was spoon-fed money. He doesn't know anything about protecting himself. He never had to do that. He was always hiring people to protect him. What are we doing? Wow.
The police starts asking you questions, then the police has to Mirandize you. All right? Just stay with me. I'm going to walk you through it. So the court held that Mr. Carter was seized under the Fourth Amendment at that moment, before the officers had reasonable suspicion and vacated his conviction, because he was convicted. Because what ended up happening was he, in fact, did have a gun. He did have a gun. Despite him raising up his shirt, he did have a gun. The first officer didn't see it. A second officer saw a bulge coming out of his pants. And so that officer made him hike up his pants a second time. And that time, they saw the gun. They saw the weapon. They saw the handgun. And so he was arrested, found guilty, convicted, but he appealed. He appealed. All right? And he basically said that the police didn't have any reasonable suspicion, all right, nor probable cause to conduct a search. And so therefore, he said, the court should throw out the gun that they found.
Okay. I'm going to have to pause this shit. There is obviously some breaking fucking news. She never claimed Apex. What are we doing? And this is the reason why I didn't even bother to read your comment. That's crazy. She ain't taking any money from Apex. She took money from Apex. Okay, all right. Just say you don't respect black women. Just say that. I don't even want to hear all the other goofy shit. Just say you don't respect Jasmine. Just say that Jasmine has no business in politics. This is just say that. She took APAC money. Okay. Well, what? Okay. So doesn't everybody take APAC money? Let me look this. Let me look this shit up. Oh. Even though she says she didn't take it, you're not gonna go on her word. So, oh, it says it outright. APAC works with Democrats and Republicans. Oh, APAC works with Democrats and Republicans to strengthen America's relationship with Israel through lobbying, political support, and grassroots. Grassroots? Grassroots? Oh boy. Grassroots adversity. Oh. So let me see. What is this? So people have issues with. Okay, so this is basically Israel. Okay. So everybody who is a Republican or a Democrat shares the same relationship with APACs. Is this what you're telling me? Let me scroll down more so I can get more information. APAC's lobbies for a strong U.S.-Israel relation. Okay, white supremacy is white supremacy. So if you're telling me that for the longest time, when Jasmine speaks against white supremacy, she's taking APAC money. When she proclaims she has not, that's a real big problem for me. Now she started up. Now what I've learned was she started up her own funding, her own campaign, or whatever the case may be. It has nothing to do with Israel. Nothing at all. That's why I think she should. In my humble opinion, it's not Hakeem Jeffries. It's not Hakeem Jeffries that should not take the reins. I think he should step aside. In my opinion, Hakeem Jeffries should just step aside. If I were to be perfectly honest, I just think that Hakeem just is not fit to be my leader. Anybody, I'm not speaking for anybody else. He's not mine. I would consider him a Obama wannabe at this moment. I think Jasmine it should be considered to be that one. But then again, no one likes black women. This is why you come full circle back to this point and say that black women, if you consider Kamala Harris to be that, is not respected. Hell, I'll even go a step further. This woman ain't black, but you don't respect Hillary Clinton. Then I know why now, but you wouldn't respect her either. And she blew past Trump. She blew past him in the popular votes. But as we all know, the electoral wins the game. And let's keep it a buck. They paid for him to win the election. They paid for him to win the election. Let's not play games here. He won the election by somebody paying these electoral colleges underneath the table. Let's not clown. I'm not going to play games with either one of y'all. Nobody in this chat. He got paid. Because ain't no way that Trump is beating Hillary. Ain't no way Trump is beating Kamala. Ain't no way Trump was going to beat old Sleepy Joe. Ain't no way in hell. He was not going to beat Joe Biden in any debate. An actor. Can we be real for a second? An actor, a realtor, a bad businessman beat a political I don't want to call him scientist, beat a politician at a debate? Are you kidding me? Yes, I seen the debate. He wasn't beating any. Donald Trump wasn't beating anybody. He was reading from a script. He was not beat. This is insane. If you think, please tell me in the chat, y'all. I know there's some intelligent people in this chat. There has to be some intelligent people in this chat. So you telling me that Donald Trump, those who know Donald Trump, and I'm not speaking to the alt-right. The alt-right can think whatever they want to think. I'm speaking to regular people who practice common sense. Do you think a person who has bankrupted 6 times, who is a convict, who has been tried in court, civil court, was convicted 34 times, has been over here in Vegas, and mobsters are looking for him? Mobsters. Could you crazy? Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Are you insane? The building that is standing tall before us all, he does not own for a reason. You mean to tell me, and the Taj Mahal that he allegedly built is not owned by him anymore? You mean to tell me you rather trust this guy running your country, or any other country as a matter of fact, to beating a person with a political mind in a debate? You think that he can beat Jasmine in a debate? Well, never mind. Let's scratch Jasmine off. Okay. Do you think he beat Kamala in that debate? Yes or no? Do you think Donald Trump? Okay, they're downstairs. Do you think Donald Trump beat Kamala Harris in the debate? For those who wants to clown on Jasmine, there are that are real Jasmine fans, so I suggest you watch your mouth. You think he beat? Okay, that's y'all's opinion. You know what? I'm not gonna even judge it. I'm not gonna even judge it. That's ridiculous. That is just so ridiculous. We're gonna move. We're gonna move on. This is crazy. This is crazy. You love Trump that much. You love Trump that much. I need to know why. Why do you love Trump this much? Why? Can anybody tell me, why do you love Trump that much? That's crazy. What does Sleepy Joe got to say?
The middle class built this country, and labor built the middle class. Look, it's not just his deliberate distortion and destruction of NATO and choosing Putin as an American ally, or the fact that he's diminished our standing in the eyes of the world more than any president in history has. It's not just this vanity project, tearing down the east wing of the White House, making room for his ballroom, putting his name on the Kennedy Center, building an arch in his own honor, even hiring his own pool guy.
Hold on. Before we do that, before we get in old Sleepy Joe, hold on. I'm gonna need for y'all to hit that like button. I'm gonna need for y'all to hit that like button. Plus, my birthday's coming up soon. It'll support. Not talking to you, Trinity. You did enough. You did enough, my brother. I'm talking about everybody else. Go ahead and hit that. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that like and hit that like. Hit that share. Hit subscribe. Thank you. My birthday's next month, but thank you. Hit that like. Hit that share. I'm going to end this stream and I'm going to start complaining that this shit don't even work anymore. And I'm not paying no damn $50 for a stream that don't fucking work. I'm sorry. Not gonna do it. Happy Pride Month. Hey, to all my Pride people, I need y'all to do me a favor. To all my L, my B, my G, my T's, and all in between. I'm gonna need y'all to go to Washington and strut your stuff onto the White House lawn. I bet Donald Trump would dare near piss his pants. It's like, what are these gays doing on my lawn? This is unjust. Hey, go to this. Y'all put up y'all rainbows. Put up y'all rainbows. Go on the White House lawn and do what you gotta do, bro. Go ahead and do what you gotta do. I want the look on these people. I want to see the look on these people's faces. These people are literally using God for their own personal tool. God is not a tool. God is a supreme being. God is spirit. God is a spirit. And you're going to try to use him for personal gain. You know what you're getting that from. You're getting that from the Roman, the book of Romans. During that time where there were just men in general, where these men were taking over certain land masses. Nothing but men, mind you, nothing but men. And when you have nothing but men laying around, you know what? I ain't gonna even go there. I'm not gonna even go there. Who's from Detroit? Anyway, all right. Now we got up to 10, and I'm not gonna ask more.
That caused him to do that.
But do hit the like, do hit the share, do hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and support the Cash App or the Super Chat. Put $1, put 50 cents in it if you could. I really don't give a shit. I'm not in this for the money. I'm in this for a hobby. But I do understand that justice is blind. It is fucking blind. So here we go. I go there just to support my friends who are. Well, you're gonna have a particular hard time there, buddy. Because under this administration, I'm surprised this is not a law. I'm just saying, I'm surprised he did not create a law that states that gays are not to be having any parades or anything like that, taking away parades, which you can't take away freedom of speech. You can't take away freedom of speech no matter what you do. It's the Constitution. But he's trying to take away your constitutional rights. He's embellished on the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Third Amendment, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, the 27th, the 20th, if I skip the 20th, the 22nd, and the 25th Amendment. He's trying to change all that. He is trying to change all that. First of all, the 14th Amendment, it's your legal right to be here, basically, paraphrasing. That's why you're getting rid of all these immigrants. For you're trying to say that they weren't here legally, that they don't have a birth certificate or whatever. It's like, and women don't have, and also trying to get rid of the 19th Amendment and saying that women don't have a right to vote. Women shouldn't have the right to vote. They should be cooking and cleaning and doing whatever. That is so. Anyway, I'm off topic right now. Let's get to Sleepy Joe.
To fix the reflecting pool.
Hold on. So there we go.
The middle class built this country, and labor built the middle class. Look, it's not just his deliberate distortion and destruction of NATO and his choosing Putin as over American allies, or the fact that he's diminished our standing in the eyes of the world more than any president in history has. It's not just his vanity projects, tearing down the east wing of the White House, making room for his ballroom, putting his name on the Kennedy Center, building an arch in his own honor, even hiring his own pool guy to fix the reflecting pool. Whoa, what a loser. Look, folks. Now, folks, it's not just that. Reflecting pool reflects something even worse than the narcissism and incompetence at the core of this administration. It's the corruption. The corruption. The brazen, blatant corruption. Corruption on a scale never seen before in American history in any administration. Trump has made billions of dollars since returning to the White House. It's simply stunning to me. He has no shame. And frankly, it's embarrassing for the country. But Trump could care less. Making money off the presidency is one reason he wants to be president. But you know what? It's not even the corruption and the money that makes me the most angry. What makes me angry is Trump wants to give taxpayers money, your money, to the January 6th insurrectionists. Oh, that's what he wants to do. People who stormed the Capitol, attacked the police, and tried to execute his own vice president. My God. These people don't deserve to be compensated. They deserve to be put in jail for a long, long, long time. To the young people in this room, I know you're trying to make sense of all this bubbling and unfolding around you. I get it, I really do. We have faced dark, difficult times before. And if there's one thing I know about the American people, they never give up, and we can't give up now. This is not about, there's no quit in this country. There's no quit in you. Folks, your governor here in Maryland is the real deal. Oh, he is. We should live by the lessons his grandparents taught him. They said, have faith, not fear. Have faith, not fear. Folks, this is just another way of saying what my dad used to tell me as a kid growing up. When something bad happened, he said, Joey, look at me. Look at me, Joey. Get up, pal. Get up, Joey. Get up. So to all you who love our country, my message to you is nice, straightforward, and simple. It's time to get up, damn it. Get up. Get up now. And continue this fight. My fellow Democrats, in this 250th year of our founding, let's get back up. Let's be the country we know we can be. Fair, equal, honest, decent. A country where we give hate no safe harbor. A land where we treat everyone with dignity and respect. A nation that's a beacon, a shining beacon to the rest of the world as we've been. Folks, I guarantee we can do this. And we will. We just need to remember who in the hell we are. We're the United States of America. There's really nothing beyond our capacity if we act together. So let's get up and fight back, God darn it. Thank you all. God bless you. And may God bless the United States of America. And may God protect our troops. We can do this.
Sit your ass down, Sleepy Joe. Anyway, before you fall down. Sit down before you fall down. But he is right. He is right on this. He is right with the, the ballroom, the pool. What the hell does he need a pool for? See, this is the thing. He has his name on everything. Everything because he felt that he was disrespected. And get this. This ain't breaking news. This is an oldie but goodie. So I'm gonna need you to listen. The reason why he's upset, he's trying to build a pool. Barb, come on now. I love you and everything, but we gotta listen. We gotta listen, Barb. We gotta listen.
And it's choosing Putin as over American ally.
Hold on.
Built this country.
Hold on.
And labor built the middle class. Look, it's not just his deliberate distortion and destruction of NATO, and it's choosing Putin as over American allies, or the fact that he's diminished our standing in the eyes of the world more than any president in history has. It's not just his vanity projects, tearing down the east wing of the White House, making room for his ballroom, putting his name on the Kennedy Center, building an arch in his own honor, even hiring his own pool guy to fix the reflecting pool.
Oh, hiring a pool guy to fix a reflector. Oh, he's talking about the thing in Washington, which that thing was supposed to be cleaned out, but he put something in there that would dirtied it all up. So that's your boy Trump. So that's your boy Trump. So that is your boy Trump. Hold on. Wait. Is that the same?
Hello. Y'all hear a little rumbling from above. You know, it's my father. He's the son of Baltimore. Biden family, the Robinette family had been in Maryland since the early 1800s. I tell you what,
He's not
my dad was always proud to say where he's from, no matter where we're living. He's in Baltimore. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Democrats, excuse me, I suspect many.
I'm sorry, but you coughed twice. Like, okay, Joe, sit down, sit down, Joe, sit your Joe, sit. All right, take this breathing treatment. Come on. You know what? Let me give a shout out to my fellow African Americans in Chicago. Y'all been coming at me a lot about the Chicago thing. You think Chicago is the mecca of the world when it comes to is the murder capital of the world. So you don't believe Louisiana ain't the murder capital of the world? Detroit, Lansing is about to be the murder capital of the world. There's a lot of things going on everywhere. And Trump proclaims he's going to clean the streets. Clean the streets. How is he gonna do that? If I were y'all, I wouldn't prefer it. I wouldn't prefer it because anything can go wrong when it comes to this administration. This is my solution to Detroit, how to save Detroit. Start building jobs for our youth. Start building start building these facilities for our youth. Give them an opportunity. Give them jobs. There are some people you can save and there's some people you just can't. There are some people you can save from being in destruction. And I don't know about y'all mayor. I know about ours, but I don't know anything about y'all mayor out there. I don't know anything about y'all government. But what I do know is that if you feel that your government is treating Chicago unfairly and just letting things just go all on a whim, like all these alleged murders and stuff, which everybody is murdered. Everybody does dumb shit in America. They do dumb shit here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yes, we do get some bums in Las Vegas, Nevada who do dumb shit all the time. That's why I don't go on the strip. I go on the strip for one reason, work, and then I go home. That's it. I don't fuck with the strip. I don't hang around the strip no more. It's not safe, especially in COVID times. It's not safe. It's not safe. But people come here and they come here for extreme reasons. And then you got a diverse of people who come from everywhere, right? They come from everywhere and they just want to have a good time. But then again, you got knuckleheads you got knuckleheads, manipulators, murderers, robbers, thieves, all in one city, all on one strip. Even downtown Fremont, it's the same thing. So I feel y'all pain when it comes to Chicago. Stand up, my Chicago people. Stand up, my Chicago people. We got in New York, we got gentrification in New York. We got a whole governor. What's Gavin Barb? What's Gavin Newsom? Isn't he a mayor or something? I don't know much about Gavin. All I know is that people don't like him. People do not like Gavin Newsom. I don't know who he is. I don't know. I do not know.
Many of you have come here tonight seeking some hopeful and news amid an indelibly dark time in our country. Folks, I know the Democratic Party.
Governor.
I fought for my whole life.
So if that he's a governor, if that is the case, if that's the case, then I have been hearing rumors, some real bad ones about him. And he allegedly wants to run for president. No. And I came back from California, so California got some issues, but be that as it may, you do not want Trump entering into your city because he's going to do so by way of ICE. And we all know what ICE is about. He spent millions and millions and millions of dollars creating his own regime, his own army. And that is it. It is it. I want to ask you a question. Should I go on TikTok and host my own TikTok, whatever whatever you call that thing? I don't even like TikTok like that. But I just want to know from y'all. Should I start hosting my own TikTok not the page or whatever the fuck? I'm not an advocate of that. I'm really not. Those lives are sick. Yeah. And a real large fucking headache. These people have no chill. No chill at all. I never thought in my lifetime that I would go on TikTok and I start reviewing these people's channels. These people have no chill, no shame. None at all. Even White Supremacy has their own TikTok. And they calling people N-words and whatever else going on. I'm like, is this America's society today? I come to terms that America is what it is. A rotting cesspool, a leaking, rotting cesspool of itself, where justice is it's sinking, it's blind, it's what was then ain't no more. It's no more. We might as well just concede and become cyborgs. Because, they say in the year 2030, they say in the year 2030, 40% of jobs would have been taken over by cyborgs. I like saying cyborgs, but they're not cyborgs, they're robots. They're going to be taken over by robots just for test reasons. We already got robot cars. We already got robot hoverboards. They already got robot snakes. They already got robot everything, just AI all over the place. My phone operates, even though it's old as hell. I got an old Android. It's not even upgraded yet. This is considered AI. Do you know how many iPhones I write up each and every single day? And they all have a mind of their own. Do you know how many phones? Let's get the likes up. Do you know how many phones a day I write up? I just write up every phone. Everybody loses their cell phone. And all you got to do is just call it and have a mind of its own. And it's And we do this each and every single day. Have y'all watched The Matrix? Sorry, I'm on a rant, but have y'all watched The Matrix? Gohans. Hey, what the hell do you have against Gohan? What I'm about to say. Gohan's my favorite character. Leave Gohan alone. Yeah, we look down at our phones and we're participating in AI. We're just participating. We don't take time to cut off anything. Smartphone, AI, smart TVs, AI. These things right here, these microphones, they're going to be AI too. And because of your president being as biased as he is, being as racist as he is, he'll be racist to people who are black and brown. I can't even say black right. But he is sympathizing with the white South Africans. I want to give a shout out to Taz. Taz is crazy, but that's something else, boy. He is something else. Yeah, but sorry for the Matrix. There's a reason why the Matrix was what it was. There's a reason for that. And I'm talking about the fourth Matrix. And if anybody's seen the fourth Matrix, it sucks, but it still tells a freaking story. Like, we are still operating. We're not operating under this regime anymore. We're operating under AI. And of course, everybody's blinded from the truth. That's why we keep chucking up red pills. We just keep sucking up on red pills and don't even know. When Neo just kept taking those red pills, that's just meant to signal that they were going to keep him, or obviously he was keeping himself, in this so-called reality. Nobody wants to wake up to the fact that Donald Trump is doing what he is doing for a purpose. You remember that word purpose? That word purpose is it basically signifies the fact that we can do anything. You can do anything you want. He believes in his mind that he can do anything in this country, in the United States of America, where he was born in. Luckily, if it wasn't for his parents, who are immigrants, he can do anything he wants and can get away with everything. That's why he can get away with saying, I can shoot somebody in broad daylight and no one will blink an eye. I can touch women by the pussy and get away with it. He can get away with things like that. He can get away from the Eugene Carrolls of the world. I do not know what's wrong with megas today. I do not know. But I'm glad for the people who are waking up to this, madness. And oh, by the way, he just paid himself another salary. $1 million, $1 million salary, by the way. Good boy, Trump.
I'm still fighting for it now. That's why I'm here tonight, to support Maryland Democrats. That's why I travel to South Dakota, South Carolina, Nebraska, Pennsylvania, fighting for Democrats up and down the ballot and all over this country, just like I've done my whole life. I know the story of the Democratic Party. I've seen it in times of triumph and trouble. Because I've lived it, I also know the story of America, like many of you. It's a constant push and pull between peril and possibility. It's a battle that's never truly over. Well, look. Well, I can't sugarcoat it. These are indeed dark days. Let's remember. We are one.
You got a belligerent woman in the back. I don't know what she's screaming. Why do y'all? What? Okay. To all my black women out there, why do y'all come to a rally and start screaming while y'all in the back? No one can hear what you're saying while you're in the front. If you want to protest, then go and protest, but no one can hear y'all scream. Y'all, no one knows what you're saying. Go to the front and scream that stuff. Then we can possibly hear you. Or do what that congresswoman did, grab a bullhorn and start yelling. I mean, that was cool. That was crazy. But this is the times that we live in right now. And Republican, I'm independent. I'm independent, and I've seen too much dumb shit in my lifetime. Too much. I can't even name a good president. I can't. Other than Bill Clinton, because I think I did vote for Bill Clinton at one point. No, I didn't. Because I was too naive to politics. I didn't know shit about politics. Michelle Obama's speech was amazing. Was it? I am telling you. But unfortunately, she doesn't get any respect either because she's considered a man. I don't know where people get that from. And on top of that, she was allegedly, when everybody else was showing up, I guess to honoring the White House or whatever that former dinner was or whatever. Everybody showed up with their wives, right? Every president showed up with their wives, except for Obama. Michelle Obama. Boy, she was ridiculed. Woo. She was ridiculed to the fifth power. Woo. I mean, people was on her, Jack. Oh my God. You're supposed to be side by side with your man. She didn't want to be there. She didn't want to fucking be there. That's not good for the black community. I'm sick of it all. I'm just sick of it.
One of the only countries in the world that's come face to face with every crisis we've faced stronger than we went into it. Every single time we come out stronger than we went in. Time and again throughout our history. We Americans have some of the better angels of our nature. Brought our country back from the brink. I believe with every fiber of my being. And with your help, we're going to do that again this November. Look,
You better hope.
here's the good
I did forget about Kennedy, but I forgot about Kennedy. But now that I'm head first into this political game, I'm going to read more into Kennedy. And I'm going to get back to you. Fair? Okay.
Look across the country and you can see it. Since Trump was elected, Democrats have won or outperformed in nearly 90% of the 300 key races across this country. Democrats became governors of Virginia, New Jersey. Democrats turned up and turned out in places the least expected, like Texas and North Carolina. We flipped 30 legislative seats in many places like Texas, Louisiana, Florida, and Arkansas. Can you guess how many seats the Republicans have flipped? 0. Not one. None.
I'm not in their relationship. What they do in their bedroom is their business. If he does the hokey pokey, if she does the hokey pokey to him, that's their business. I said what I said, and I said what I meant. And I lost all train of thought when I said it. No. If I refuse to let Trump talk shit about her, I refuse to have him talk shit about her when quite clearly Mongolia Trump, or whatever her name is look like she needs to be on a bucket list. She needs to be on, you know what? You know what? There's a specific reason, real quick. There is a specific reason why in that, what the fuck? Okay. I did not want that. There is a specific reason why in that Netflix special that Kevin Hart did, there's a reason why the Mongolian Trump jokes were gone. The Donald Trump jokes were erased. There's a reason for all that. If that were me, I would go to town on these lily white. Whatever. Yeah, it is. Are you trying to correct my speech? Are you literally trying to correct my speech? Oh, you are trying to correct my speech. It's so cute. Oh, that is so cute. You trying to correct my speech. It's so cute. Well, I'll tell you what. You have and you have a right to do so, right? Let's say you, okay? Don't worry, Barb, I got it. Since you want to be a teacher, since you want to act like a teacher, could you put like $1 on the super chat, please? When I see $1, I want to spell dollar. I want to spell dollar. Can you do that? As a matter of fact, fuck it. Put $5 in there. I want to spell $5. Can I help spell five? I want to spell $5. See if I can challenge myself due to the low IQs of the room that you proclaim that we're 3/5 of a human being and all that other dumb shit. I want to see if I can see it, I can analyze it, right? And I can say, I can spell it with pride. I can with confidence. I see the $5, right? And I know how to spell it. I want to see if I can spell it by looking at it. Otherwise, I think Barb already kicked you out. Damn it! Barb! Oh, no, didn't it? I'm not giving you a red cent. Why not? Why not? I'm hungry. I want to spell hungry. Since you want to be a teacher, since you want to do all this extra shit, come on, put $1 up there. What's going on, Barb? Anyway, oh, I mean,
one of my personal favorites is Florida, where a Democrat won a state seat, House seat, that was previously held by a Republican, who had won the last election by 19 points. That seat just happens to represent a quaint little place you all heard of, Mar-a-Lago. And the reason Democrats are doing well isn't just the higher inflation and the anemic job creation. And by the way, have you noticed Americans today are saying the economy under the Biden administration was a hell of a lot better than under Trump? I make no apologies for being the most pro-labor president in American history. The middle class built this country, and labor built the middle class. Look, it's not just his deliberate distortion and destruction of NATO, and his choosing Putin as an American ally, or the fact that he's diminished our standing in the eyes of the world more than any president in history has.
no,
It's not just his vanity projects, tearing down the east wing of the White House, making room for his ballroom, putting his name on the Kennedy Center, building an arch in his own honor, even hiring his own pool guy to fix the reflecting pool. Whoa.
I just need to hear that one more time. It's counting all the stupid shit that he's ever done. Oh, and he forgot something. Build a UFC ring. For what? Oh, since they didn't want to come and support me with this, blah, 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 blah. And by the way, no one gives a shit about Vanilla Ice. Let's cut the dumb shit. He called everybody. He called Young MC, and Young MC said, nope. Young MC said, nope. Queen Latifah said, nope. Snoop Dogg said, hell no. But Vanilla Ice was the only one that raised his hand and said, I'll do it. People are literally forgetting. For his own birthday. Exactly. For his own goddamn birthday. No one wants to celebrate my birthday. The 250th anniversary. And I knew it was a setup from the beginning when we had to do it. When we had to go in, we had to celebrate that shit. I should have just skipped out. That day. But I would have gotten in trouble for it. So, oh my God. Nobody wants to celebrate my birthday with me.
U.S.-Iran ceasefire is under pressure this morning as American forces launch retaliatory strikes near the Strait of Hormuz. And President Trump is now warning that the U.S. may have to finish what they started if Iran continues to strike. Trey Yingst is...
Whatever, dude. Whatever. I'm not concerned. You know what? To be perfectly honest, I'm not even concerned for Trump anymore. I'm not concerned with Trump. Yeah, he went, but you know what? It was funny when they did boo him. And shout out to the New York Knicks for finally winning after 37 years. 37 years, y'all finally won one, man. Congratulations. Patrick Ewing is smiling his ass off. Charles Oakley is and I didn't even see John Stark. Where was John Stark at? I want to see John Stark. Like, smile, you some bitch. Smile. I'm happy for him. 53 years. So I went off. I'm really glad for him. I really am. I really am. I really am. They deserve it. They deserved it heavily. And I have to say this, but old Stephen A. Smith, I'm glad he finally had a smile on his face. I'm glad he had a smile on his face. Now go ahead and keep continuously do sports and get off this politics shit, because you are clearly off your shit. Clearly. I'm not gonna even concentrate on Trump anymore. You know what I'm gonna concentrate on? The House. The House is not or is responsible for the money that they have to dish out. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have to do a tutorial one of these days. I'm gonna get all my ducks in a row, and I'm gonna concentrate I'm gonna concentrate my own on the House. Mike Johnson, you damn right. You damn right. It's not about Trump. It's about Mike Johnson, who, by the way, I heard was crashing out. According to Lisa, he was crashing out. Why was the boy crashing out? Oh, snafu. Huh. Ladies and gentlemen, let me see. How much time we got? How much time we got? Oh, we got plenty of time, fam. I'm all night. We'll give fuck. Let's do this. First, I want to say what's up to my girl Peaches. Ooh, but we got us a bomb burner. Mm-hmm. Hit the like, hit the share, and you know, put $1. Or do I have a hype button? Does anybody know if I have a hype button? What does that do? I'm not computer savvy like that, and all those other accolades, and it's like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever. I don't even know what that does. But you know if I have a hype button? If I do have a hype button, I guess if you can hit it for me, it'd be much appreciated, I guess. Let's see. Pull my finger. That's some old school shit. Pull my finger. I tell my son to pull my finger all the time. Hype is for videos and helps boost the algorithm. Well, cool. Hit the hype button so I can boost the algorithm, I guess. But what's Jasmine Crockett up to?
Lincoln Square. I am absolutely punch out on this by getting down to the business that's in front of Congress right now. We have got a real budget train wreck ahead of us with the big, beautiful bill. It's turning into a big, ugly mess right now. Mostly because even the Republicans seem to be realizing that massive cuts to Medicare and Medicaid are a bad idea and not popular, and also a disaster, and also a flaming clown car. So talk to us about where you see the state of play right now, and then I want to talk to you about like how those cuts would drill down and affect your district in particular. And I'm sorry, I said the 6th district. I meant to say the 30th. That is my fault.
I know you did. I was thinking Jake Elsie is not going to be happy about it. No, it's all good.
I'll be back.
It's great to see you, Rick. And listen, it's what we've been talking about for probably since January, right? We've been talking about the fact that they were trying to figure out how it was that they were going to fund these massive tax cuts that they are trying to make for the Elon Musk of the world, right? Like, this is what they were trying to do. And so the only way that you could fund it is by saying, you know what? So that Elon can go out and have another baby mama that he's not going to take care. Anyway, whole other issue. But, you know, it's like Elon needs more money for why, right? At the same time as, I broke down the numbers specifically for children only in our DOJ subcommittee hearing that we just had last week. I broke down the numbers for each and every Republican member on that subcommittee, and it was Marjorie Taylor Greene's district, where it was going to be 111,000 children that are potentially at risk for losing their health care. That's just the children. That's not talking about the adults. And thank goodness for the House Budget Democrats, led by my good friend Brendan Boyle out of Pennsylvania. They have actually put up a website where everyone can go and see exactly in my district, what does this mean as it relates to how many people are going to be impacted by the SNAP cuts? How many people are going to be impacted by the Medicaid cuts? You can see that. And so I encourage people to go so that you can find out what's going to happen in your district. I would say in my district, I don't recall the specific numbers. I was in 70-something thousand people. I don't remember if that was kiddos or adults specifically as relates to Medicaid. But I can tell you nothing about it is good. And I can tell you that you can't tell me that you love this country or that you are trying to make this country safe or great when you fail to invest in our future. And our future is our children. And so if our children cannot be healthy, if our children may not be able to have food on the table so that they can learn and get their education, then you can't tell me that you want to make this country great, because half my life has already passed me by. Greatness is about what we do for those coming behind us, not what we do for the one percenters.
I think that's so right. And I think that this idea that they're going to give this $4 trillion tax cut to Elon and Mark Zuckerberg and Larry Ellison and a few other people at the cost of this, and it's probably a pretty rare day when you and me and Steve Bannon are on the same page. But Steve Bannon even said, if they do this, they're going to really hurt a lot of red district voters. They're going to hurt a lot of MAGA voters by doing this.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, when we look at the numbers, it's one of the reasons I brought up Marjorie's district. It is these Republican districts. When we looked at just the children that would be impacted by those Republicans, it was over 600,000 children combined. And we were wasting our time on having a nonsensical hearing that had nothing to do with the Department of Government efficiency whatsoever. So I tell you that I consistently remind my colleagues that this isn't just a fight for my constituents. I'm actually fighting harder for theirs than they are. And that is the unfortunate part. But that is what's so great about us finally getting out and deciding that we're going to engage in conversation with people that aren't necessarily just our constituents. It is why I applaud those that are going out and going into some of these very traditional red areas and explaining to them that when these hospitals end up shutting down, let's make sure you know who it is to blame, as it relates to like farmers that have talked about the harm that they have struggled with as they decided to cut USAID. Like, we need to tell these stories. We need them to understand that they are getting rid of those that work in forestry, right? Like, how many of our rural areas are needing those to actually work forestry, to actually make money, or just make sure that they are keeping their communities safe by making sure that we don't have the wildfires like what we've seen in California. And so I think that we've got a great opportunity to really focus on what brings us together. And the reality is that we are all on this same ship that is sinking. And the only people that have been given their little raft to get off the Titanic right now, it seems like, are the Elons and the Mark Zuckerbergs and the Jeff Bezos, while the rest of us are going down.
So one thing I think people have really noticed in the last few weeks is this trade war idea is hitting us in
Thank you for the 100. Thank you for the 100.
There's already a lot of uncertainty out there. We've got this tax bill that was promised to have several things that do not appear in the current version. The tax on tips, tax on Social Security, all those things that he made a big deal out of. Where'd those go?
Why do people believe Donald Trump? That's my only question.
That's the same question I asked. This is the same question that I ask all the time, but no one likes to give me an answer of why y'all love this long-faced beard. Never mind.
In fact, no. This is actually what is more confounding for me. Isn't that people believe him. It's that he can even tell you the stupid things he's gonna do, and then people are like, oh, he don't mean that. Like they won't even believe him when he is telling the truth, because I gotta give it to the guy. I mean, he ran on tariffs. Now, people may not have understood what that meant, but he absolutely did at least 100%. Run on tariffs. And people are like, oh, no, okay. We told you that the tariffs were not going to be paid for by, say, China, that it would be you that would pay. And he's like, no, China won't pay the tariffs. Like he said that, like, Mexico was going to build the wall. We still waiting. That was the first.
Still waiting for that check.
Still waiting on Mexico to build the wall, right? Like, seriously?
Again, did you get your Doe's check in the mail? It's been 6 months for me. It was what, $1,000? We did tell you. We said it clearly. What's going on? We don't deserve her as president. Y'all need to stop the hate. Stop the hate of females. If it was Barbara Walters, you probably vote for her.
Like,
stop the cap. Stop the cap, bro.
I don't get it. Listen, the only fake news that we have is what comes out of the White House.
I think it's like the volcano of fake news. So, you know, you have been a real fighter to try to get, I think, front and center some of the absurdity of the Republican things they do in the House with Marjorie Taylor Greene and other people like that. I think I'm curious about your thoughts on this. It strikes me that you're doing this you've got a great edge and a great bit of humor about it, but it also tells an important story and reveals a lot about who these people are and why they're not representing their district. They're representing Trump. And so I wanted to what was your inspiration to get out and get in the fight in that particular lane? Because I think it's so valuable.
Yeah, I'm not really good at sitting on the sidelines and just letting people punch me.
Same.
And be so happy about how smart I am, right? Like, yes, if you want to go and look at the type of legislation that I file, if you want to go and look at amendments that maybe we've been able to get through on various bills, those types of people, they will find it, they will go to my official webpage, they will see the type of bills that I'm fighting, they will find that, right? But when you look at the more educated electorate, and when I say educated, I'm not even talking about their degrees, but literally people that decided to educate themselves about the issues and the election, they went the right way. They went the way that, wouldn't have had us here, right? And so the question is, how do you break through to people that literally don't have the time because they are living check to check, because they are trying to figure out how it is that they can move up in the world. The people that are literally just trying to survive, or even those that are trying to get to a place of survival, right? You got to be able to break through and communicate with them too, because we are all, again, on this same ship that is currently going down. And so it can't just be, oh, well, we told you so. It has to be that we do better and that we are able to communicate. And so for me, it's about keep it simple, stupid, right? That's what it is. Keep it simple, number one, so that when people are moving about their lives and their days, that they can still understand what's going on, because they don't have all day to sit there and watch CNN, MSNBC, or whatever it is that they watch. You know what I mean? So that's part of it. The other part of it is that, I am a trained fighter. As an actual trial lawyer, I'm not really good with losing. I'm competitive.
No, it's illegal to be smart. It's according to certain people, it's very illegal to be smart. As a matter of fact, you ain't supposed to know anything at all. But I digress.
And especially when I know I'm right, I want to prove my point, right?
Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can buy Cash App, Super Chat, or Heart, or Star, or 100, or whatever that thing is at the far my right in whatever that thing is. Whatever to me.
No, I'm going to come back I am going to say what the truth is, and I'm going to back it up, and I'm going to put a little spice on it just so that you feel it, right? Like, just so you can feel it, and hopefully teach you a lesson about trying to come for me.
I think that is one of those things that is so valuable because the culture of Congress.
Wait. We don't deserve her because she is way too thoughtful. We elected Trump, then re-elected his dumbass. Well, at least you admitted to it. At least you admitted to it. So, Madam Crockett is on fire. Madam Crockett needs a man. I can be that man, but stop.
I've been 61 years old. I've been around this process my entire adult life. It used to be that I think a lot of these MAGA Republicans got away with the idea of I can punch the Democrats and run away. I can get in their face. I can get in there, you know what, and they're not going to do anything. And I think it really has surprised a lot of them that you are going to go in there as a real combatant. You're not going to screw around and go, oh, well, that was how outrageous. You should be ashamed. Instead, you're going to go right back at them.
Yeah.
What needs to be you? What you said. It needs to be me. What needs to be you? What needs to be you exactly? What you want to be that. You want to be that. What you call them? You want to be that congressman. You want to be that. You want to be that pres. What you want to be? What? Sorry, had to. That's for her. Jewel hands, dear sir. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I'll concede. I will concede. My bad.
And I wonder how
Roger
you hear from some Republicans, because I still talk to a few Republicans in the House.
No, we're not doing Roger Zapp. What we're doing, okay. Okay, we're live. We're doing George Clinton. We are going to be doing George Clinton. George Clinton and George Clinton only. God damn it.
You in the Senate. And they can't stand Marjorie Taylor Greene either. They can't stand the crazies either. I'm curious how often you get a Republican whisper in your ear like,
oh, yeah. Like, I read, which we just hit the 1 year anniversary of the bleached blonde situation. Yes, the anniversary. We should have had an anniversary T-shirt.
You know, if I had known that, I would have thrown a party, man. Because I have to tell you, that clip probably got played in our household about Republicans in the House and few in the Senate.
Bought the shirt
and they can't stand. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah, like I remember, which we just hit the 1 year anniversary of the bleached blonde situation. Yes, the anniversary. We should have had an anniversary T-shirt.
You know, if I had known that, I would have thrown a party, man. Because I have to tell you, that clip probably got played in our household about 100 times. And it kept getting better.
Yeah, the views are still going. The songs are still going. We need to have an anniversary situation. But anyway. But I will tell you that when that happens.
Okay, one last question. Zoltar. Gap Band or Maze? Gap Band or Maze? You have to pick one. If you pick right, I'm gonna have to give you a wrench. If not, I ain't gonna give you a wrench. It all depends. My uncle is Maze. I'm Gap. Fair enough. Whatever. Fair enough.
there were men and women from the Republican side that came up to me and they were making little jokes. They're like, listen, I love your lashes. I ain't got nothing to say about your lashes. And, you know, there was a high five here or there on the issue. And, you know, what I do find is that what I would consider to be a traditional Republican, someone where our policies may not necessarily fully align, but they are really they're really grounded in their beliefs of what it is that the traditional Republican Party stands for.
Right.
They absolutely seemingly have no problems with me. They, you know, see the crazy, and if they could publicly do something to them, they would. And so, you know, they respect my gangsta, so to speak.
Well, hey, you know what? It is something though that I feel like you have liberated yourself in a lot of ways as a member and as a leader. Do you wish more of your Democratic colleagues would follow along in that sort of model? I mean, because I think there are a few that are starting to step out more. And as you mentioned earlier, the ones that are going to do these town hall meetings in these red districts, I think that is absolutely great leadership in action that cuts through a lot of the BS and the fog on the modern media machine. Do you wish more of your colleagues were out there swinging as hard as you do?
I think that I wish every colleague felt comfortable in fighting in their own way. Because I can't imagine like people clapping back and doing, you know, the things that I do necessarily the way that I do it, right? So I don't necessarily see that, but I would hope that my colleagues feel comfortable in their own skin, in their authentic skin. That skin that sometimes
I'm gonna grab that shirt. I'm gonna grab that shirt myself.
You know, if that's how they honestly feel.
Sure.
I don't think that people should do things trying to chase a moment. I think that one of the reasons, I remember there was someone that was doing an article about how viral I was going last term. And, you know, she was like, I'm curious, like, do you plan this? Do you know this? And I was like, no, like, there is no sauce. I said, if I had to say that there was like a special sauce to doing this, then it would be more so grounded in this idea of having real emotions and being honestly connected to the issue.
Did you like, cook that son, bitch?
Get frustrated or upset, or I think something stupid's happened, like you are feeling it, you're seeing it. I mean, my face can't hide it, you know, right. And I say what I have to say. And I know that there are those, especially when it comes to the Black community, that have felt like when they walk into certain rooms, if they don't speak a certain way, they somehow will be ostracized or that they will be seen as less than. And I think that I have empowered a lot of people to be okay in their skin in general, whether it's my colleagues or otherwise, because I know what my credentials are, just like they do.
Right.
And so regardless of how I say it or whatever I say, you can't take away, like, and now I got 3 honorary doctorates on top of everything. I got more honorary doctorates than the president. I got more degrees that I sat and earned as well than the president. So no, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it the way that I'm going to say it. And I'm not going to feel a way about it because literally y'all let a 34-count convicted felon into the White House. And frankly, he was given all of the opportunities that I never was born with. He was the one that was given a leg up because he was born into money. That wasn't my story. I'm the first lawyer in my family. I'm the first politician in my family. Like, I didn't have people that were pulling me along. So I think that we should, especially on our Democratic side, because a lot of the have very real stories that honestly real people can relate to. And I think that it's just about being okay with who you are in your skin at all times, regardless of the titles that we carry.
I think that's a really good way to look at this. And I think your authenticity.
But now she was being accused. She was being accused of not supporting James Tellerico, which in the end, when she lost, she conceded in supporting James Tellerico. What are we doing? I think we've been spoiled to the point, and of course we got those ones that clearly have an issue with Jasmine Crockett, but we won't be going through that today. We won't be going through that today. We know who the haters are. They don't need to be mentioned. So with that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all freaking nights. Stay off of that shit, man. Stay off of drugs. Say your prayers. Do whatever it is that y'all do. I don't know, but God bless y'all. God bless y'all. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Y'all be safe out there. Peace.